ball game. Take me out with
It's an organization to help kids in need. And when I joined, it was in 60. We moved up here in 59, and I joined the club in 60 under the leadership of Miss Jessie Carroll. The Women's Club is a club where different women got together to further their ambition to help the young people in Sun Village, educational wise, and just to better the community altogether.
Well, it's a group of women that got together and decided that they wanted to do something for the community and just come together and named it the Sun Village Women Club. Well, I've been a member here, and we have done things together, like, having bake sales and doing things, fish fries and stuff. We raise money to help the children graduate. That's unfortunate, to have their tuition to start college.
Oh, the Women's Club was the organization that got Jackie Robinson Park started. Okay, we had moved into the area, and it was not developed. We who had children had to do a lot of work in getting the place looking better and more for us to survive. And our first job was to get the streets paved so that the buses will come into Sun Village to bring the children home from school. And the next project was getting a place for them to have activities, and that was to purchase land. And after purchasing the land, we deeded it to LA County. And LA County came in and developed the park. And I was the first director of the park. There was a lot of work to do.
That's why it was needed for the park, so the kids could have some room to play. So it wasn't anything, for the kids to do. And so we come in the idea of we're gonna build a park. So we saved money, and first we had meeting at the houses, the members' houses, and we bought this place on 92nd Street, and so this is where we would meet at. And so we sold this place, and so the county give us permission to turn the money in, and they would match it what we gave to build this park. And so Miss Carroll, she was the head member of the Women Club, and so she was affiliated with Mr. Warren Dorn at that time. And Warren Dorn was a friend of Jackie Robinson. And so they had Jackie Robinson to come here, and they named this park after him, Jackie Robinson.
We sold hamburgers. We sold chili.
Tacos,
Yes.
corn on the cob, and potato pies. And we just had a good time.
And at that time, there was no transportation. There was a playground on the school ground that kids would go weekends, but we lived so far, you had to walk, and there was no transportation to get there. So that was another reason why we developed the park. The community came in and did a lot of work to get the equipment for the outside. And we still had activities to purchase things that we needed for the inside. And the whole community was involved in getting it set up. And the first time that we had a meeting, we had food, we had a program, and it was really, really good. We had pictures from the, what was the name of the paper? That
Valley Press.
What?
Valley Press.
The Valley Press came in and made pictures, and it was quite a write-up about it. You had to go to Sun Village Park and build it up. Nothing was there, you know. But it worked. In a couple of years, we had a good thing going.
Yes.
We celebrated all the holidays with the children and had a wonderful summer program. And we were always busy.
When I came here, my husband, he worked for Lockheed, and naturally we had a home down in Compton, because I taught in the Compton Unified School District, and he was working for Lockheed, so every Saturday he would come down and pick me up and bring me up here. And I remember on Order 14, when I turned off on 90th Street, I said, wow. He was in his truck, and 90th Street was paved, but Order 14 was not paved. And when he turned off Order 14, 90th Street to Order 14, the truck started rocking. It humpy-dumpy-dup. No paved streets. Neighbors were far apart. I was glad to get back to Compton. But now I'm glad I'm out of Compton.
Because when I moved here, we could go and leave our doors open. We didn't have to worry about, we could take our children, leave them at the park if we wanted to. Didn't have to worry about nobody snatching them up, taking them, running off with them, or raping them, or whatever else. And it was just a pleasure to be here at that time.
The tumbleweeds would just roll through the yards. And then they had the mud, and it would go back and forth. In fact, the ambulances wouldn't even come out here because they thought they were going to get stuck in the mud. So when we finished our house, we had lights, we had electricity, and we had natural gas. So I said, whoa, this is just like LA. Oh, boy, because if you cook with propane, oh my goodness, the food just burns so fast. And I wasn't accustomed to that. I was accustomed to cooking on a gas stove. So I said, well, this is more like LA. And then they paved the streets. And we don't have curbs or anything, but we do have our paved streets. And I was close to the main boulevard. So it turned out to be okay.
I just enjoyed it. I raised my kids here because this was the best place for me to raise them. We could go to Palmdale and leave our doors unlocked, leave them open, whatever. Didn't have to worry about, vandalism and stuff like that. That wasn't here. It was just like everybody in the community was just neighbors. Everybody got along, and And you didn't have to worry about no break-ins, and it was beautiful. And my mother came out. I was living in LA, and she said, this is the best place. My brother moved here with his family, and I came out here. She says, this is the best place to raise your children. Let them go to school here. So I raised my 2 kids here. My favorite memory of Jackie Robinson's Park is when he was here, and the things that he done, and how the kids just, you know, surrounded him, and they was just so happy to know that they were hugging Jackie Robinson. And he was wonderful. He stayed here like almost all day that day. And if I can remember, we had little finger sandwiches and dips and stuff, and we just had a good time. And I had a chance to see him, shake hands with him and hug him.
Favorite memory of Jackie Robinson Park when I used to see my kids playing football and baseball. And when we started coming out here, I think it was about 68 or something like that, and we built our house. And so we would go back and forth from LA and come on out here. And when we found out that they had a dedication, we were so pleased and so excited. So we would come just for that day. So the park was built, and we would even have our celebrations here sometime at the park. Bring our children, and other children would come from LA, because that's where I'm from. And we had a beautiful time.
I was saying, I remember the times when we came on Sundays when I come from church. I would get, my children were small, and we would come out and we would just picnic. We'd have, you know, like the homemade ice cream, and we'd have barbecue. They had the pits that we would, you know, just barbecue and just have a good time. We'd spend all Sunday evening out here. And the wind in the summertime, the wind was so cool, and we just come and just have fun. Mm-hmm.
I remember when they built the building next door. Mrs. Carroll, the person that really was involved in this place, we named it the Carrolls Building. And I remember we gave donations, and the people that gave donations were put on a plaque. And my husband and my name is on that plaque, that building, therefore. So my favorite thing is coming and seeing that plaque there, say I had a part in it, okay?
It was the day it opened. The park was not, the park was finished, but there was nothing inside. So we borrowed chairs from the church to bring in for the opening. And I don't remember when or how we got started to get a desk and things like that. Did the county bring that in?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think the county furnished.
And Jackie Robinson was there. Yeah.
And his mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I'm just glad to be here and see so much of building around this park since I've been here, you know.
No more than I just enjoy being here, even as now.